I was looking around, I was jumping around, and I searched Google Doc and YouTube transcripts, and I found something. Is this going to be interesting? I don't know. I like to go in raw. I like to go in blind. Sorty Enjoyer, at Sorty Enjoyer even on Twitter, posted a document about a fellow called Dane Rektangles Hansen. What did he do? I don't need to tell you. I can just instead say he's a Smash player. What do you think he's alleged to have done? Let's jump in. I'll get that sweet crop. See how we judge this. Is it convincing? Is it put together in a way that gets you the information you need fast? Or is it a mess? Who knows? As a lot of you know, I had lived with Dane Hansen, aka Rektangles, for about 2.5 years. As of about a month ago, Rektangles and I have split apart, and I now live with my girlfriend, so I now feel comfortable enough to speak about my experiences with Rektangles and the things I have witnessed while living alongside him for these 2.5 years. This is an interesting one. My roommate left, so now I can tell you about him. Now I will stop keeping secrets. If this is really bad, I think I might have to start judging the author as well. This will act as a document to ask for a ban on Chicago, tournament organizers? Rektangles. Or tournament organizer Rektangles. He's a tournament! Hold up. He's the TO. I was reading it as if he was saying tournament organizers should ban him. I'm trying to search it and I'm not finding it. I don't know how to search Smash stuff and Google is dead. Well, if it's explained he's a tournament organizer, if he's in that position and he's done something screwed up, haven't seen it yet, haven't seen what he's alleged to have done yet, probably should have been saying. Tournament of what? Smash Bros. Please read this doc in its entirety. Back when I had lived in Kenosha with Rektangles, at this point in time he was 22 to 23 years old, in 2021, something extremely disturbing and disgusting took place. I really wish I had said something sooner, but I had no other place to go as my mom was moving to Texas, and I was not ready to leave Wisconsin just yet, as I was 20 at the time. It better not be something really bad. I decided not to report this guy for whatever it's going to turn out he did or do anything about it, because that would be inconvenient for me. I hope it turns out he didn't do jack, and had recently moved in with him. These things being said, for the stability of my own life and safety, I thought that I couldn't speak. On the night in question, Rektangles picked me up from my 12-hour Amazon FC shift at around 6 a.m. as he usually did. But this time he had a girl with him in the front seat. This being said, with the wear and mental drain of a 12-hour shift, I had no will to pry into their business as one. I could barely keep my eyes open, and two, I, at the time, couldn't naturally discern any sort of issues. When we got home, I went on ahead and fell asleep in the living room because of the drain from my long shift. Very well. Spoilers? Okay. How far down does this go? Alright. The next day rolls around and I'm watching YouTube on the couch and Rektangles finally exits his room. He walks up to me in only his boxers and states, Dude, I haven't had this much sex in so long. I kinda just nervously laughed it off, but thought it was really weird that he told me that. So I called my friend Sol to tell him what Rektangles just told me. We sat on the phone for a while just bullshitting, and then I heard a loud knock on my front door. Police, get that! Oh, it was the police, allegedly. I was joking. I get confused and look to the peephole, and then there are about 10 Kenosha Police Department officers at the door. I knock on Dane's door and ask him if he knows what's going on, and the girl just goes, Oh shit, I think my parents called the cops. And she starts rushing to put her clothes on. Mind you, she goes to put her clothes back on. This sounds like a fantasy, but if it isn't, what are you doing? What are you doing, Sorty Enjoyer? What are you doing? Keeping this quiet, if it's true. I eventually open the front door and they come rushing in, grab the girl and drag her out of the apartment. After the stress of knowing the police were there, and I finally had settled with that, I finally got a good look at this girl and my heart fucking sank to my stomach. She was Asian! No, she was an Asian girl who looked no older than 14 years old. But I'm not sure. I'm not good at telling the age of them kind. No, he didn't say that. She was fighting with the police and screaming random curse words and slurs at them. I sat there in complete shock as they cuffed Rektangles. Oh, so this is something you could check. This makes it sound potentially real. Why would you lie so egregiously if it's something you can check? But then again, we are on the internet, remember this. After they took him away, they started to question me. They asked me questions like, how long have you known him, and did you know this girl prior to her coming to this house? Whoa.
Maya Chavez has
Oh
just
shit!
donated
Thank you.
£39.90.
Thank you
This
so
is
much.
your birthday stream, but happy birthday also. Did you cover the Destiny Southern DM leaks? I saw Sunday and Shud videos this AM about it. Not sure how bad they are.
I have not looked yet. It's long been suspected. I presume the leak is that they absolutely did bone. It's long been suspected. He requested her to do a Yordle cosplay, I believe, and at that point it became clear to me, at the very least. Thank you so much. They started to question me. They asked me questions like, how long have you known him, and did you know this girl prior to her coming to this house? But the important question they asked me was, do you know how old this girl is? I told them no, because I didn't even speak to this girl, let alone ask her what her age was. Her actual age was 12 years old. Here are screenshots of his side of the story that he is telling a person who wishes to stay anonymous. This is from Rektangles, allegedly, posting on Discord. So in my last few months of living in Wisconsin, I was using a dating server on Discord to make friends because I was in a very desperate place after losing the women I moved out there for. I presume it's a typo and he didn't have a harem. I came across this girl who decided to come over to my apartment to hang out with me after we talked for a while. The dating server was age verified by ID, and she looked like a normal Asian woman. The joke I made about someone saying something like this, he just said it. I know she was 12, she just looked like a normal Asian. Bro! So I assumed that it was just another date. Tarion was in the house and he didn't seem to see anything off either, really. She stayed over for the night and she initiated hooking up with me the following morning. We wound up taking a nap afterwards and I was awoken by an insanely loud banging at my door. At my door were a bunch of police who came in and took her out of my home. Then they informed me of her true age after saying her parents had called her in missing. Come on. Couldn't tell she was 12. I went to the station, I answered all the questions they had, and afterwards went into my home and cried and threw up. Tarion was there to comfort me through it all, and afterwards I found out that Sol had been in a voice chat on Tarion's phone during the police coming to the house. I don't know what his version of the story was, but he was not there for it. I'm genuinely disturbed and disgusted that the whole thing even happened to begin with. I took myself into therapy for 3 years to deal with not only that, but many other things in my mental health. There is no universe where I would willingly hook up with someone underage. 12. No shot. What did he say? 22, 23, and 12? No. Don't buy it, brother. Don't buy it, brother. This is another one where the only defense against any of this is, these are fake screenshots. This is a lie. The only defense is, this stuff's a lie. It's a fake screenshot. There's no other defense. I legitimately don't understand why Sol would bring that up when they definitely didn't know the story either. I don't know why he'd bring up me, a little kid. Even after it happened, they told me that they had experience with that server and reached out to the mods to report the incident and get that girl removed from that server. They were trying to help me recover from it, and they said they wouldn't ever use it against me. But here we are. Not to sound Reddit, but I think everyone sucks here. I think everyone sucks. Very, 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 very bad here. They betrayed me, the child, who they promised to protect until I moved out. Right. Seems like they were saying he's a tournament organizer in Chicago as well. Okay. Smash community cannot, will not, in no possible universe, in no possible dimension, ever escape the allegations. Now he's talking to someone. I'm sorry for not coming clean the first time you asked me. This is something I never wanted to bring to my friends because it's disgusting and I'm ashamed of it. I was told an age of 12, which makes it very difficult to believe this story, since it relies on me to believe that you couldn't tell she was underage. Yeah, the fact that you omitted the age here too makes me more skeptical. Rectangle says, this is why I wanted to call about it, because there's stuff I would miss in text. Folks, do you understand what's just happened there? If it's not in text, it's not inherently in some kind of record. That's why you wanted the call to give any sort of detail. Sorry, man. I really am trying my best to give the benefit of the doubt here and hear you out, since you did me a huge solid housing for CB, but hearing about it all just makes me too uncomfortable to talk about it with you. I hope you can understand. He says, I do understand that, blank. And I'm sorry that you and anyone else will get to it, Winter.
Winner 1205 fed the streamer a $5 super bear. The Rectangles guy has his own Google Doc links on his Twitter.
Don't worry. Actually, I meant to have that. Okay. I have it again. We're all good. We'll read through this and then we'll check his defense. Just wait. I do understand that, blank, and I'm sorry that you and anyone else is informed had to be made uncomfortable by the information. I made a massive mistake. Ooh.
Mussolina Kathy fed the streamer a $5 super bear. I didn't know she was 12 as an old internet meme.
Indeed.
Really takes me back.
Indeed. Don't, oh, by the way, on Twitch, do not say that you're an age that is lower than 13, even as a joke or a meme. You will get banned by the robots. Unless you are under 13, in which case you should get banned by the robots. I made a massive mistake by trusting a Discord server that had age-verified users according to what it was. And as a result, I had one of the most vile, V-I-A-L, I kept a vial of that child. Disgusting, heart-wrenching things happened to me. I had no idea she was 12. And I know it's hard to believe, but she did not look or act that way. No. Only defense is these logs are fake. Only defense. It's my fault for not being more cautious back when what happened, and it definitely could have been avoided, but what happened happened. I'm genuinely sick that it did, and I would never ever pursue someone who isn't of age. How would you know? Dog, as a 20-plus-year-old, you couldn't tell someone was frickin' 12. How would you possibly stop yourself with that lack of perception if that's true? You have to just go celibate. I learned a lot of lessons from that experience, and have carried them with me to this day to ensure something like that never ever happens again. I love you and all my friends I've made from Iceland. I really hope you guys can give me the benefit of the doubt. Come on, not for 12. Not for 12. No. Because that situation does not define me, and it is not who I am. I have grown from it. Damn, the age gap's even bigger now, true. And it is something that will never happen to me again. If you can share this with everyone who's involved, / knows now, I would appreciate it. Please do pedo propaganda for me. Alright, I'll share it with the voice chat. Thank you. Sorry you guys had to hear about this. We will put it to a vote and see. What, if you kill him with rocks? The council will decide your fate. Mind you, these screenshots are being shown to show that Rektangles is admitting the fact that this indeed did happen. The incident in question, as shown from the above screenshot, clarifies the fact that the incident I'm referring to is not a matter of he said, she said. It is a distinct fact, unless these are fake. But we'll hear his side momentarily. For those who have read up until this point, you no longer need to question whether or not the scenario even occurred. It is a clear fact at this point. People just be writing this stuff. People be interviewing people and saying, hey, are you credible? People be writing in documents. For those who've read up until this point, you no longer need to question. What is wrong? What is wrong with the brains? I kind of just sat there not knowing what to say. How could someone even fuck up this badly? How could someone see a 12-year-old as an adult woman? I couldn't even fathom it. And that's why you're not as good as him at Smash, presumably. I just sat there in shock, not knowing what my next course of action was going to be. So much had happened so fast that I forgot Sol was even on my phone, and Sol makes a statement as well that we'll read before we get on to the accused's statement, I should say. Forgot Sol was even on the phone, and they heard everything that went down. I couldn't move back in with my mom, and I didn't want to couch surf from house to house. I had no car, so I couldn't get to work reliably without him. I was convinced he was not coming back, and I believed he deserved to not come back. Unfortunately, about an hour later, he came back home and just started crying his eyes out because of what he did. He immediately started acting like he was the victim, saying things like, why would someone lie about that? And I feel so disgusting, bro. I felt that I was forced to comfort him because I didn't want to be homeless. Look, hypothetically, just go to your local bar and tell everyone what this guy did. Problem might just fix itself, and you don't even need to, incite anything. Just make it known. I felt that I was forced to comfort him because I didn't want to be homeless. I had no lifeline, so I decided that once I can fend for myself and get my own car, I'll tell the story. Unfortunately, he cannot be tried in the court of law because the child's parents did not want to press charges against him. This sounds fake as hell suddenly. No, something is rotten here instantly. Do you want to press... My G, person who wrote this document, if parents pimp out their kid, the police catch their kid being raped, and they go to the parents and say, would you like to press charges? And they say no. If this was how it worked, how would you stop child prostitution, for instance? What the hell? The parents believed that their daughter was somehow capable of relatively thinking about the ramifications of this act, despite her being 12 years old. They don't get to say. It's a severe crime, which is another reason why I kept my mouth shut for so long. This is so suspect suddenly. I wish he could be put into prison for this, but unfortunately there is nothing that can be done. This being said, I genuinely believe it is best that we as a community refuse to allow people like this within our area. In my house though, you know, when it was okay for me, fine. So I think, and hopefully others as well, that there should be a ban put into place, and that we as a community refuse to let things like this stand. Sincerely, Tarion. Edits and grammatical fixes by Anonymous. Tarion requested me to help him edit this document, which is fair considering a story like this is a very emotional one to write about. And to save him from having to constantly relive this traumatic event, I helped in order to give him mental rest. Right. Yeah. So Tarion was asked, should definitely go to the, or rather, he was told, should definitely go to the police with this information if you haven't done so already. I know you say he can't be tried, but that seems extremely unlikely since he admitted to having sex with a minor. I tried, says Tarion. Kenosha police is not willing to help or investigate further. This stinks to me. This really stinks to me. Okay, so Sol, the person who was apparently on the phone during the cops allegedly barging in on that night, or in that morning, I believe, has made a statement. Sol says, since I'm name-dropped, this I'll say. Yes, I was there when all this happened. I heard absolutely everything that happened on the other side. Rather, you were on the phone when this happened, yes? At the time, Tarion didn't talk to me further about how he saw this. Dane made us promise to take this to the grave. So I was under the impression that Dane was being honest. What is this statement? I didn't see this person, nor did Tarion describe her to me. One day years later, when we were living together, I asked abruptly, as I usually do, yo, how the fuck can you not tell someone 12? And he said he's been thinking that for years. Considering Dane would constantly use it against us when mentioning his trauma and using it as an excuse to treat me poorly. Hold up! Allegedly, there's a guy who fucked a kid, would mistreat this person, and then when this person was upset by that would say, you can't be mean to me, I fucked a kid. I don't think I've seen anything more bizarre than this. Anything more bizarre than this. Using it as an excuse to treat me poorly or constantly invite violent women to the house who cause problems. This goes way further on my end in terms of things that bother me. From Dane's cat abuse to a rabid woman banging on our door telling everyone inside the house and the entire apartment building that Dane raped her on December 13th, 2022. My experiences living with him were not good, but pale in comparison to this secret we were threatened to keep. Dane is truly one of the worst people that has ever been in my life. One of the worst? I mean, he's in the Smash community, so I guess this is one of the worst. When I left, I told a few people I won't name about this since it bothered us so much, but since Tarion still lived with him, we decided it was better to not say anything until both of us were away from him. Right. Okay, cool. The person these claims are being made about is going to delete their Twitter account. However, prior to doing this, they made a statement. My statement by Rektangles, deactivating this account in 90 days and leaving Twitter and the Smash scene for the foreseeable future. I will not be addressing any other slander against me or responding to unwelcoming individuals. Please respect my privacy. Thank you. What does he say? Not a whole lot. Right, he doesn't immediately say, this is insane, those screenshots are fake. It's over. It's over. It's over. My statement. Just to start off, I want to deeply apologize to anyone who had to discover the damning information that has just come out against me. Why even try? Why even try? I'm going to do my part here to explain my perspective of what happened. Share how I took accountability for my actions in private. You're a child rapist. I don't know what's going on with law enforcement. This is crazy. And share how I will be taking further accountability going forward. You gonna go to the police? Remind them what happened? Tell them? Hey, I should probably face some sort of repercussions via the justice system, don't you think? If you go there and admit that and they won't do anything, you know what? That's on the justice system. But at least try and f*** yourself over it, please. From 2019 to 2022, I lived in Wisconsin to be with a woman I fell in love with. For the last 7 to 8 months of me living there, she had broken up with me, and I took Tarion in as my roommate. One night while I was at home and while Tarion was at work, I found myself inside of a Discord server. It just slurped me up, bro. Meant for 18 plus dating, which claimed to have age verification and everything. Being sadly desperate. You can't just describe yourself as sadly desperate, okay? For attention at the time, I decided to join the server and make a public post to see if anyone would chat with me for the night. I wound up getting a message from a girl that night, and we had a short convo, followed by an hour voice call and her Ubering over to my house in the... Lock up the parents as well. Straight up. Parents, also in jail. Parents, I'm gonna hide the screen. I'm gonna check this account. Is this fake? Is this fake? Why the hell would you write this? This account's been lightly active for a while. Mostly like retweeting stuff, but retweeting Smash stuff. I just have to double check because it's so hard to believe. Joined January 2016. Man. Anyway, followed by an hour voice call and her Ubering over to my house in the end. Screenshots of the entire log of chats between us below, pictures and names have been blacked out for safety of the victim. We hung out for the night, staying up till the morning and falling asleep then. Based on how she spoke to me and acted toward... She was 12. She won't be necessarily recognizable at this point, okay? Based on how she's... Like, I bet you don't want us to see what she looks like. Granted, to be serious, he shouldn't show us a picture of her. But I suspect it is to his benefit that we will not see her face or something. Based on how she spoke to me and acted towards me, I genuinely thought that nothing was wrong, especially given my mental state of desperation at the time. You do not get reduced culpability for fucking a 12-year-old as someone in their 20s because you were just so desperate to get laid. No, that does not work. That is not a mitigating factor whatsoever, brother. That you would try to use that suggests to me you're a full-blown ped who just doesn't actually see anything wrong with it. That same morning, I was awoken to a very loud banging at my door. 10 police officers were at my door, and they immediately took myself and Tarian out of the apartment, before afterwards going in and removing her from the apartment as well. They took me to their cars and asked me a bunch of questions about how I met her and how she got there. I was informed of her true age of 12, and my heart sank to the floor. The police then informed me that this was something that she had done before, according to her parents, and they decided not to press charges against me for the incident. Parents don't get to choose that. Are you suggesting law enforcement just dropped it? Immediately after, they let me go back to my home. That's an insane injustice in my opinion. This is horrific. This is horrendous. Or they're lying. They gotta be lying. They gotta be lying. I don't want to believe it's this bad. I went inside, vomited profusely, and cried to Tarian. I sat there horrified, disgusted, and appalled at what my stupidity and poor judgment had gotten me into. All I felt in that moment was confusion, anger, and sadness. No guilt. I started to even shift some of the blame over to her in my mind, verbally expressing this to Tarian as I cried. Part of your defense includes telling us how you blamed the child at the time. From then, he and I agreed to each other to keep this between the two of us so I could heal from it personally and take accountability for myself. Here we are now almost 3 years later, and my hand has been forced to now publicly take accountability for it once more. If this isn't faked, if this isn't someone getting into this guy's account to burn him, if this is the guy really admitting to this, I have to suspect they all covered it up together somehow. It has to be, right? Here we are now almost 3 years later, and my hand has been forced to now publicly take accountability for it once more. Oh man, I have to take accountability for screwing a 12-year-old again. Once Tarian and I had moved to Illinois, I think I forgot this detail. They moved together following this. I think I missed that part. I instantly put myself into therapy and checked in with a psychologist. I put down online dating of any type for good, as I could no longer trust my own judgment or any type of dating site, and especially not a Discord server for dating ever again. I spent my time in therapy facing this issue head on, determined to make sure that I would never let something like this happen to me again. I wasn't going to let this horrible mistake define me, and so I took each session very seriously to truly understand my thought process and get to the core of why I let something so horrible happen to me. I feel sick. I want this to be fake. I want this to be fake. They walk among us, folks. They walk among us. In the end of it all, I was able to learn where I went wrong in my actions leading up to my mistake, and no matter how anything went down in the end, it was my fault for not using my better judgment. I battled a lot of unaddressed mental issues that I had built up from the past, and came out of it all determined to be a better version of myself every single day, and not let my mistakes, no matter how dark, define who I am and what I do. Going forward, I will be stepping down from Yacht Club HQ, Chicago Smash, HDR, and any other events I had planned for the foreseeable future. Yes. My understanding is this is a tournament organizer for Smash. Guess he does stuff like this. Damn. What's this? Oh, statements from the brother. We'll get to that. Interesting. Going forward, I will be stepping down from Yacht Club HQ, Chicago Smash, HDR, and any other events I had planned for the foreseeable future. I will be readmitting myself to therapy to deal with the mental duress that this becoming public information has caused me. If you have taken any time at all to read my side of things, I appreciate you for your time. I don't want to be appreciated by you. No way, no how. To anyone who has ever been associated with me or friends with me in this community, I want to thank each and every one of you for all the support and love and caring you have shown me for the past 10 years of my life. This community gave me meaning, life, and a dream to chase after. I love you all. Screenshots. All right. Hi, I saw you're looking for a e-girl. What's up? One blocked message. Do you want to see a picture of me safe for work? Sure. Sent a picture. Profile pic, best pic I got. This me. Shit, you're damn you. You are cute. Thanks, you too. So, are you looking for a BF, friends? BF, GF? I'm just going with the flow. Not really looking for anything in particular, but who knows what'll happen. Blocked messages. Nice. Same, I guess. Can you VC? I don't know. I'm bored AF. Yeah, I'm down. What's the deal with the blocked messages? And then they had a call. And then following the call, she Ubered. Nah, is that it? Yeah, that's it. You're cooked, dog. You're cooked. Well, this is one of the places he stepped down from. This is a tournament organizing and equipment rental thing, I guess. Whatever. He stepped down from it. And this person Kicker says, to all who may be concerned, I will be taking over the entire yacht club operation for the foreseeable future. I am doing okay, and I know the entirety of what is going on. Dane will be okay. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. I am with him currently, thank you. How do I feel? One of my best friends is in the hospital for some very serious stuff. My brother had to publicly address a private situation from 2 years and 9 months ago. Smash communities cooked. Raping a child. Kicker. Raping a child 3 years ago. Mixed with some other personal stuff. Life feels like a nightmare at the moment. I need time to heal. I feel broken. With all that being said, all yacht club operations will be on indefinite hiatus. Yeah, let's go. My brother was the only person keeping me motivated to do that, so now I need to figure out if I want to keep going without him. I appreciate anyone who has already reached out to me. I will once again ask you to read the entirety of the document that Rektangles made. He is doing what he needs to do, and I won't leave his side. We'll be okay. I love you all, including the 12-year-olds. All right, what are the other places he stepped down from? Let's see if they have any statements. Let's go to Chicago Smash. I never trust Smash pages. Let's see if they have a Twitter account. Chicago Smash WTT. That's tennis. Chicago Smash. Bros. Don't really know how to find it. Whatever, it's fine. Someone's asking on October 15th, does Chicago have Smash Bros? The event seemed to be much more sparingly than in Chicago Smash, HDR, and any other events. Well, what an uplifting story. That's so weird to write a poignant farewell. Yeah, I'd say so. Oh, maybe it's in his retweets. Maybe I can find the other things he's involved with here. It's mostly the yacht club thing. It's all just the yacht club thing. Okay, pretty much. Huge Raw Mondays? Huge Raw Mondays. You should have known. Huge Raw Mondays is like their event? You should have known. You should have known. Okay.